Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, NWA instructed to begin damage assessment of roads following Tropical Storm Raphael. Teams from the National Works Agency have been instructed to begin preliminary damage assessment of the country's road network following severe weather associated with the Tropical Storm Raphael. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says that teams from the NWA will be deployed to clear blocked roads and restore access to critical areas. He says a priority must be given to areas where essential services and the first responders, including the Jamaica Public Service Company and the National Water Commission, require access to provide aid and support. The National Works Agency says that nearly 30 roads have been impacted across several parishes due to heavy rain associated with the Tropical Storm Raphael. NWA Communication Manager Stephen Shaw says that the agency is collecting reports on the extent of the damage across the island. He says southern Clarendon is now feeling the effects of the weather system.
So the Alley Bridge, for example, has been overtopped, and we want to advise persons traveling in those areas, Alley, Portland Cottage, Rocky Point, Lionel Towns generally, Racecourse, to exercise extreme caution because we know it continues to rain in the north. The Rio Minho is the main channel through which stormwater flows from the north down to the sea, and there are likely to be issues there.
Mr. Shaw said that the number of roads affected by the storm is expected to increase as additional reports come in. The Bogwalk Gorge in St. Catherine remains closed. Motorists are being urged to proceed with caution. There is also extreme flooding in sections of St. Thomas. The National Emergency Operations Center says that 32 people have sought refuge from Tropical Storm Raphael in shelters across the island. Acting Director General of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, Richard Thompson, says the shelters were opened Tuesday morning in St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Clarendon, St. Thomas, and Kingston and St. Andrew. Mr. Thompson is urging people to remain vigilant, although the weather system continues to move away from Jamaica.
You can have persons being impacted by landslides as well. Where soil can come down and persons can get trapped. If you're walking on the road and you have landslides taking place while you're actually walking on the road, then we're saying to persons still be vigilant until we are totally out of the woods and the all clear is given. The Bogwalk Gorge still remains closed, one of the main arterial way from Kingston into the northern side, and that still remains closed because there is still concern as it relates to the flat bridge. So that remains closed. We are saying to persons use the alternate route for that area.
Mayor of Maypen criticizes GPS over fallen utility poles. Mayor of Maypen, Joel Williams, accuses the Jamaica Public Service Company of providing inadequate services to communities in Clarendon. Mr. Williams said 3 months after the passage of Hurricane Beryl, a number of fallen utility poles are still down.
I would have reported a number of poles prior to this storm coming that were falling down. Would have expected that those poles would have been repaired because we were still in the hurricane season. And believe me, nothing has happened. The JPS representative to our emergency disaster preparedness meeting yesterday came under extreme pressure, and they sent someone who was not in a position to answer some of the questions. So it doesn't amaze me that what has happened today in terms of a number of areas presently as I speak to you. I know that in the hills of north central Clarendon, the areas are presently without electricity, again because of fallen poles.
The JPS earlier said it has been responding to outages across the island caused by Tropical Storm Raphael. Winsome Cullum, Director of Corporate Communications at the JPS, said the incidents are not widespread. She said outages were reported in areas including parts of St. James, Mandeville, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, and in rural St. Andrew. Rural villagers plead for government help after roadway crumbles. Residents of Maglashen in St. Andrew are calling for quick action by the government to fix the massive breakaway on the main road in their community, which lies along the route between Golden Spring and Mount Airy. Persistent heavy rainfall in recent days caused the major road collapse on Saturday, leaving residents of the rural community in a quandary. They blame the lack of maintenance of the roadways over the years, coupled with increased rainfall caused by climate change, for the gaping hole that has now split the community of almost 300 residents into two. We need help. The whole community needs help. There's nothing we can do without government help, 47-year-old resident Dervon Seymour told the news. For those willing to take the risk, a muddy path just above the break provides an alternative route, but it comes with serious safety concerns, and not everybody can manage it. You have people down here as old as 91 years old. How she go doctor? One resident quizzed. It rough. The only way out is if the government come in and even give we a good walk foot track now. The walk foot track where we have now, it's right at the edge of the breakaway. So sooner or later it'll go break, Seymour added. We now manage. The only way we are think about now is to cut a whole road with we hand. We residents have to think about to take fork and hoe with we hands. We now manage well, he said. The hilly community is used to experiencing land slippages, but very rarely are they faced with anything of this magnitude. Residents point out that debris from minor landslides caused by Hurricane Beryl in July still clutters parts of the road, highlighting a long-standing issue of neglect when it comes to maintaining infrastructure in the area. Almost a decade ago, the main road in the neighboring Mount Herob area suffered a major break, and it still remains unrepaired. Seymour fears that Maglashen, which he has called home for more than 20 years, could face a similar fate. There's a community down there that has been abandoned, empty house everywhere you go, he said. We used to be one community with Brandon Hill, but not anymore because of the Brockway. So now when this one happened, now it's worse, he said. Although schools were closed yesterday, as the tropical storm Raphael passed near the island, 29-year-old resident Patricia Davis is concerned about what will happen when schools reopen today. We need help as soon as possible, she said. The kids them can't stay home. Them have to go to school. Education is key, she told the news. 24-year-old livestock farmer Shanice Brown echoed similar sentiments. Children cannot go to school. The track is dangerous for the kids, she said, expressing concerns about how she will be able to transport the chicken feed to her home. Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, Member of Parliament for St. Andrew West Rural, told the news that an assessment is currently being done by the National Works Agency to ascertain the cause of the breakaway before determining the best course of action. The Geological Department basically is saying this breakaway happened for hundreds and hundreds of meters below, and that's how the earth shifted because of the type of soil that they saw just looking at the destruction, and it shifted from way below because of the saturation by water and the type of soil, and the soil just got heavy on the top, she said. In the meantime, Cuthbert Flynn is working with relevant agencies to repair the ruptured pipeline and ensure a safer pathway for residents. A better walkway also has to be made, so NWA will be working on that, and I will be assisting to do that, she said. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.